e-gaming bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Hello everybody and welcome back to DotaPit Season 4 by G2A. I'm Toby1 and we are here for our last game of the night. London Conspiracy going up against Team Spirit after Team Spirit in under 20 minutes was able to effectively crush the living hope out of London Conspiracy. Let's go into our game. The draft's already underway and I can welcome in Mop Packs. Here we are, man. Here we are.
All right, fourth and final.
Yep.
The last one, it went by a little bit quickly, one might say.
Compared to our last two, yeah. It was very, very quick.
The early push was actually successful this time and completely dominated. We talked about during the draft how they didn't have that answer to the Wombo combo. Like the Tidehunter and how, had he come out of that Kraken, would have thrown up, you know, the Ravage and dealt with this whole call down and the Death Ward and everything like that. But, I mean, Team Spirit just walked into them. They just said, come on, come at us. They didn't need the control. They just built the Atos on top of the Overworld Devourer. And just threw him some aphotic shields, you know, a little bit of this and that, and he just did the work.
It's like, how do you even hold yourself back at that point? When you got like 40, 45 stolen intelligence, you're like, well, I could farm for another like 10 minutes and get an item which would achieve the same kind of thing for me. Or I could just take the advantage we've currently got and completely force the issue. Knowing the ulti was coming back off cooldown, knowing they had everything else, that's the kind of play I was hoping to see from Team Spirit, but haven't seen a lot recently. Like after they qualified for the major, like they qualified for the Shanghai major. I was like, okay, we're gonna enter an interesting world. Team Spirit, like, get some confidence behind you to go for these kind of push strats, and go for these like confidence plays. And they kind of lost all that confidence. But if they're gonna find it, these next 3 weeks is the perfect time to get it.
Well, now they have opened up this time, and it's interesting though. Why are they going for the Invoker over the Outworld Devourers? Kind of like after a game like that, you would almost think, you know, why don't we just go for the OD? I guess maybe they're thinking they can still do a couple other things with it, and well, now they could
be trying to do the play they did the other day, which was run an SD Lashrak combo with an Exort Invoker.
I didn't see that. They went that old school, did they?
They did.
Wow, I completely missed that. That's amazing. That's some good stuff right there.
Instead they had the Bane, but he's still a very similar setup. Like, you Nightmare into Sunstrike Brainsap, like, that's a lot of burst damage. You catch up most people with that. They'll need another combo here, and I'm wondering what London Conspiracy ban out now, thinking about this, because they could think about the Lash, and it just turned into this Edict-style push. Actually, was that? I'm fairly certain it was Team Spirit. I'm doubting myself after that ancient thing before.
Don't.
Or they could look in towards a Mirana combo if we want to go real old school.
Ooh, I like that as well. That's true. So you can't really avoid that in these sort of drafts or these bans here from London Conspiracy. Like, yeah, maybe if you really don't want to face Bane Mirana, you can ban it. But in the end, there's always going to be some sort of a partner that can be roaming around with that Bane. And at least with the IO, banned out. You don't have to worry about like really mega global combo here, and you could still look towards like the Nature's Prophet along those lines for Team Spirit if they want to go in towards that. And yeah, it's still plenty of options though, but nothing really taken away here. The other big thing that came out of that first phase is that the lone druid was left in and it wasn't taken by London Conspiracy, which is really interesting. I wonder if they just feel like Team Spirit know how to deal with it.
Maybe, but the lone druid was kind of that hero, which was like he held his own in his lane. Yeah, he didn't have a great rotation for it, but it's still like I'd look towards something else where maybe it's we want to have a more aggressive offlaner, not this we farm up to Radiance, because London Conspiracy got completely nailed during that period of time.
Yeah, and at the same time, maybe you don't want your draft to be the lone druid and then feel pressured to take. Like I would feel pressured to take the OD after a game like that. I don't want to give them Invoker and OD because they're just going to run it safe lane, and then you're going to have to deal with both of those heroes. So if you had opened up with the OD and the lone druid, then you're missing it on the Vengeful Spirit, and she's just one of those great drafting footholds. Like she holds you up against a lot of different heroes. You can see Team Spirit, they ban out the Faceless Void simply because they don't want to deal with that with the OD, but they also know they don't have the same answers to it without Venge and Oracle in the pool.
Well, this feels like a wonderful Roshan lineup already. Beastmaster, VS, and OD all together.
Yeah, and this is their most popular hero so far this patch, and this is the first time we're seeing it today as well, even though it wasn't banned earlier on. So it looks like they're trying to go back to some real older ideas that they had.
It's also one of the few games where you don't have either the Enchantress or the Chen being picked up with Team Spirit in the game. But they get,
yeah, that's true.
They get the Batrider instead, so there's your jump in initiation. Stray control, but you're up against both the Beastmaster and a Vengeful Spirit and an OD. All the heroes are capable of completely screwing with the Batrider's initiation. So it's kind of going to be like this pick-off jump, not the way you start a team fight.
Yeah, it's very similar to what we saw with General earlier on. He had to face up against it was the Nyx, the Venge, and the OD, and it just, like, how do you avoid that as a Batrider? You kind of take away so much of what he's meant to do in every single one of these pushes, every single one of these defenses. It's a risky pick, it seems. I'm surprised they went for it from Spirit.
Yeah, it still feel like they needed to fill this well, they could have done that with the Nyx Assassin or something like that. They needed an aggressor. They needed someone that was going to be that initiation.
Disruptor.
Oh man,
okay.
It's a hard life.
God, just support Batrider right now. Make him a support. You can't do anything else with him. Like,
Disruptor is such a good hero. He's so good for the laning phase. Like up against certain offlaners, if you can't, fight up against the hero, you're so doomed. If there's any sort of a safe laner that can fight there, like versus the Darkseer, we see it. Versus the Batrider, it's also pretty common, so you can bring him back when he tries like Firefly over a cliff or something like that. You can wait a nice long duration.
5 seconds.
He's gonna be spending, I think, quite a bit of time in the jungle here.
Yeah. There's your Gyrocopter from Team Spirit. That would have been the icing on the cake of London Conspiracy. You could have had something like that. Like, it would have given them that last portion of teamfight control they're searching for and the combo to work with the Disruptor. You know what actually I would like to see in this game, which is a little brutal to say, but like something like a Phantom Assassin from London Conspiracy. I feel like they can get a lot of like a lot of easy picks when they're playing the safe lane against that Batrider with the heroes they've got. Like, it's just simple killing, but it's that brutal killing that will be able to beat the Gyrocopter down.
Yeah, kind of in the same mind. I wouldn't mind seeing like a Slark as well, but it doesn't look like it's one of those heroes that they pick up all that often.
Slark would actually be wonderful. Like, the Bane controlling him would be very difficult. You just jump in, Dark Pact, and it's like, okay, good luck on your timing of your abilities. If you can hit that sweet spot, then sure, you'll control me. If not, you have to burn Fiend Script. But Fiend Script's so hard once you get Disrupt with high levels up in Glimpse, because he can just like drag the Bane and cancels the ulti, and you hit the nail on the head, Mob Packs. Slark.
Yeah, it's just solid here. It offers basically everything they need up against this lineup. It's so good against the Batrider. It was either going to be that, and I appreciate the Sven ban because it's something they've run like all the time, but I feel like it was either going to be Slark or Juggernaut with a Manta. Like, both heroes kind of providing that same single target avoidance, but Slark's just so much better at it. Like, Shadow Dance, what are you going to do, man?
Not a lot. Well,
10
die.
seconds
That's
remaining.
an option. That's a pretty high option.
5
So Iceberg, how do you want to
seconds
wrap this one up? You got to know the Batrider is screwed. Like, there's no way he can play that off lane, which
Reserve
means
time.
you're either running an aggro lane or you're pushing Batrider to the jungle. It's the only two options you've really got. Or you feed the Batrider and hope he does well.
I feel like your Bane's... Yeah, I think Batrider's just on his own. Like, he's either going to have to jungle or feed. Bane's going to be too busy in the mid lane.
Actually, what does he do? Like, if he goes to the bottom lane, he's up against a Beastmaster. And Beastmaster, once you get double balls up, is actually really not that bad against a Batrider. This is...
I think you just play it safe and take a Witch Doctor or something, some sort of a solid range support. Because I don't know what sort of a rotation you're going to have to... Maybe the Leshrac, if they want to run a Leshrac, I would be okay with that too. But with the Dazzle banned out and the Oracle banned out, you don't have any of these big saving heroes, and Witch Doctor's just the only one that has some sort of sustain.
You're earning your money tonight, man, with your predictions. You're on point with the Witch Doctor.
He's too top tier. Left it that long. It's definitely not a Witch Doctor game though, you know. There's no Chen, there's no Enchantress, there's no Faceless Void on your team. It's more of just like, what's a solid support that maybe we can combo up with something from an Invoker.
If Team Spirit actually get away with running this aggro tri-lane, which I still feel is what they have to do in this game, and they're able to get some momentum on the back of that, I'm feeling a lot more confident for Team Spirit's lineup. But if they can't do that and they play this safe lane Gyrocopter, they're probably going to zone the Beastmaster out quite nicely.
10 seconds
But the
remaining.
Batrider is going to feed. And maybe after the
5 seconds
first death,
remaining.
you already, like, just bail him out.
Yeah, and we did notice with Kefka earlier today, he tends to be pretty safe when he plays the offlane. Like when he was playing that Faceless Void up against the Viper, he didn't die, which is fairly impressive. I think a lot of offlaners would actually take the trade and farm where they would rather, you know, I'm going to get some CS. Yeah, maybe I'm going to die, but I'm going to take some of the CS here and just play it a little bit more risky. But he was playing it extremely safe, so if they do put a lot of pressure on the Beastmaster, I would expect him to just head back into the jungle. Like, he's got high armor, he's got pretty decent base HP regen. He can still farm up, even if it's not with an Iron Talon, just using the boar.
I like Always on a Fly's effigy. It's simple yet effective. But it's also really nice with the effect when it's... Whoa, what the... Oh, I didn't click that. I accidentally jumped to a tower. But like it looked blue and then had like this little spirit kind of stuff coming off him. Now it doesn't look as great. Like, he needs the golden version of this for it to be really cool. That's such a basic effigy.
It is pretty basic, isn't it?
No, I want to actually check the other ones before we go out to the other lanes. Here we got a golden one. Ho ho ha ha!
Oh, I like this undying one here, actually, from Jellybean. That's pretty funny.
I might restart the call. You've gone robotic a couple of times, so we're just going to refresh it.
Oh, okay.
It's just...
Beep boop.
Boop, 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 boop.
I'm still a robot? No.
No, you'll be fine again in just a moment. Yeah, I think Jalopy takes, like the ultimate effigy thing. Like, the Superman. How has he only got one command on his freaking effigy?
Yeah, that's actually original. I haven't seen that, at least myself. You know, there's some effigies you see like 1,000 of.
Mine's very unique, but only because it's just that unusual. It's a good Drow Ranger and a good VS one.
Typical Toby.
Hey, at least I'm nothing but consistent.
Battle begins.
Alright, so LC. It's a normal observable to be placed down to block up the camp as, well, Biver, yeah, he's going to throw it down. There's no sentry ward there for Afterlife, but that ping came out from the Batrider.
Yeah, he saw him at the last moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, at least he'll be fully aware of this. And, oh, look at this. He hides his ward, so they're going to think he placed it over here. I think they saw him, at least. Maybe they didn't see him with the ward, so this will be all for naught. But he's just hold. You actually, yeah, there it is. It's way back there.
Yeah. Well, he might have hit his ward, but he's still dead. That Firefly, he's running north. They've got Glimpse available. They just need the vision. Right now, they don't have it. And I don't think Beaver was really thinking of running through that fire until now. Because the Firefly will wear off. Afterlife's up a very, very long way. And this is a very, very simple first blood. Like, he munches on the Tango. He's going to go in deeper. Like, they're not even moving the Slark off the lane. They realize these supports can do it themselves. One magic missile. Afterlife just keeps juking it. Now, they missile. Attack him a couple of times. Glimpse him back. And not even going to have to use the glimpse. Jalopy came in for the kill secure, but he's too late. The VS will take first blood. And love the conspiracy. Again, off to a good start.
Yeah, that was pretty strange. I guess maybe he just hadn't seen the supports and was hoping to make some sort of a like a movement from them. Maybe he was thinking they would have been mid or something, looking to help out against the Evoker really early on. And I mean, just as we suspect during the draft, Godblack's just mid. Like, this is your Bane. This is why they still need another support down bot.
Godblack can't keep doing this, though. He's taking way too much damage. Even with the sustain that you get from being a Bane, it's the fact that now you have the OD at level 3. You actually have that Arcane Orb available. I think he's got no mana. He's got no bottle. You kind of have to like, protect the 2-minute rune and hope you get a regeneration. But Batrider's already there. It's going to be the bounty for the top, which the VS will take. And it's an illusion on the bottom, which the Bane will now take.
Afterlife just has nothing. 0 experience. No can off the jungle as suspected. Whereas Kefka, he's already getting himself up to level 2 at the very least. Get himself a little bit of experience. He's closing in on 3. Yeah, it looks like Godblack's coming down now, though. He's like, no more of this. We can't allow your offlaner to get anything. That night could have let him get an easy kill on Kefka if he steps too far.
I always want to Fly's got this in the bag, bro. He doesn't need any help. He doesn't need Godblack there.
Jeez, Kefka, though, he is playing this just extremely cautiously. With no vision, he doesn't want to make the same mistake that he saw top.
Hey, he still managed to get almost 3 levels in the space of 3 minutes. That's not bad. And if he times this right, like, I think it's going to actually get... No, he had to axe that. Like, if he axed this camp here, he would have actually stacked it.
Yeah, it's true.
Middle lane, iceberg. Oh, with a deafening blast. It's not going to be enough! Oh, it is! Barely! That very fire, I thought the VS is going to survive through it. Baby Knight could have actually lent him another, but it's, yep. Alright. Now the bottle will arrive for Baby Knight, but that's still great for Baby Knight. It's a kill onto the Invoker in mid and gives the OD momentum.
Well, this is really interesting what Always One Fly's doing. We see a lot of supports being way more bold now. And again, mid lane, they're going on top of this Invoker.
They have Wave of Terror and Magic Missile, but what they do not have is Detection.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So very
Hoping he wasn't going to have that up. But the early point into Wex will allow him to live.
Still has to burn a lot of mana to do such a thing.
Radiant's bottom
Like, there's
tower
220
is under
mana,
attack.
1 to invoke it, 200 to use it.
But yeah, so they're going to sentry up that camp as well.
Oh.
And with that, Kefka's like way in.
That bloody catapult. it dragged the creep wave back, so LC couldn't go underneath the tier 1 tower easily.
You see Iceberg just holding on to this Ghost Walk too. He understands what's happening with all the pressure that's been exerted here. And with Kefka off the map, yeah, he's a Beastmaster, but the boars are still pretty obnoxious. And he just can't risk anything up against this Vengeful Spirit and Disruptor possibly even TPing in after. Well, like, if they lift into stun, and then that'll give plenty of time for Solon to just suddenly appear with level 2 Glimpse and be in position to bring him right back to wherever he was.
That Observer Ward that was placed in the middle lane by the Radiant side, it was scattered by LC when it got planted. So there should be a quick D-Ward for that one. Godblack up a very long way, but now they find Biver over in the tree line. Paralyzing Cask will not bounce. Kefka kept his distance there, but he's got no mana to really help out his teammate. So they just go into a Nightmare, quick Rocket Barrage, and that's going to be a very dead Vengeful Spirit.
You're done.
Yeah, almost managed to juke himself away through the trees there, but Godblack with that range on the Nightmare. Gonna be enough to secure it. And then this should be a relatively easy tower. Kefka's now come back down bottom, as you mentioned there. Not able to really help out in terms of him dying, but at least he can soak up a lot of this push. And does he have... He did go 2 points in the axes, so generally this is where your Beastmasters are going to stop, but it's enough to pull creeps off the tower, as well as do a decent job at farming them.
The only issue you got is it's 9 Talon Beastmaster, so if you're thinking about having something like a Soul Ring or a Bottle over on this Beastmaster, they're still a while off. So you can't just spam out these higher level axes.
Yeah, no, he'll probably just start moving back. I guess he doesn't even have his boots up yet, so once he has his boots up, he can start moving into that necro for
Are they gonna
a slight bit of push.
They're thinking about mid lane again. Iceberg, he's got his Ghost Walk available, but he's in range of the Sentry Ward, and they trigger the Dust, but down to 5 HP at one point. They need one attack, a wave of terror, but it's on cooldown. So more TP supports arrive from the Witch Doctor. Afterlife's rotated over. Baby Knight still looking like he wants to try and fight this, but, well, you've got that control. He'll escape himself out. It's a quick imprisonment, but he just buys time for his own death. A couple more attacks, but that is one very deeply dived OD dead.
Yeah, they went a little bit hard for that one, but that happens. Trying to shut down this Invoker. He still even had Ghost Walk up. But obviously the Dust there, so they were ready this time. And the whole time, Jalopy, yeah, Baby Knight went down the mid lane. He is still second in CS, but at the same time, obviously Ramsey's in that same boat on bottom. He's now got the phase boots, the Ring of Aquila, and he can look to push while all this pressure is being thrown down on top of Iceberg.
Are they wanting to go again? Like, until your Beastmaster's level 6, you don't really have a better initiation than just imprisonment into stun. But when you have such an, like, you have 4 seconds to react when you use imprisonment to initiate. That's kind of the problem with the OD.
Mm-hmm.
I guess great for your own team if you're lining up for arrows and such.
In terms of like diving right into the tower, exactly. Like there's so much time to just rotate in suddenly.
Yep. Should be more than enough time to bring in 2 support heroes. Unless if you go straight away.
This is interesting. They're teleporting always going to fly down bottom. And I'm not sure why. And so they'll immediately pick it up from the Disruptor, too. I guess it's just provide... Yeah, he's going to provide some little bit of vision here. It means they can continue to leave him on his own and still push the other lanes.
Top lane. Golblack. The pounce is real. He's going to brain sap himself up. There's no mana for a Nightmare up. And Jalopy, with his Shadow Dance, he's able to run himself out of the cooldown, away from all stuns. Doesn't matter if the Sunstrike is on target. 1, the TP finished beforehand, and 2, they're all good. Glimpse, you don't TP to front towers. This is not... No! 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 You at least burn 100 mana on a Disruptor, but you just also wasted 75 gold.
Well, that all started from that ping on Solon on the Witch Doctor on bottom, because they saw the TP heading bot, and they knew that meant that there was no sort of a rotation from the Witch Doctor. And if there's one thing we've talked about this hero that he's really good at, it's those dives under tower. It's the cast, you know, getting people stunned up there makes the biggest of differences. And with him not being able to rotate, it was a great time for them to dive and to use that Shadow Dance to really good effect. Now getting himself up to level 8 and almost into the Shadow Blade.
A 9-minute Hand of Midas for TS. For Iceberg. Nice for the Invoker. Still wondering if he's going to be able to withstand the LC attack.
When they keep on rolling bottom.
They rolled on bottom. With a Glimpse, they can pull always on a fly back, but they don't lock him inside the wall. So a Fairy Fire as well as the 1 charges is not enough to keep him alive. So 20 seconds on the sideline for the Witch Doctor. Also a successful first rotation. I say rotation back to his own lane.
Oh, this call down on Solon. Can he get it? Oh, it's gonna go for it. Come on.
Wall it. Try to juke it out in the fog of war.
I thought he was gonna go for the Roshan deny, but I guess he was maybe hoping there was gonna be a rotation. Guys, come on. And now, oh, he's only level 5. Jeez, Afterlife having a rough go. I mean, we expected this, but that's pretty brutal.
He still managed to grab the double damage rune. There's a little bit of problem for Baby Knight up on top lane. Paralyzing Cast going to go. The Alacrity is currently on cooldown. Iceberg not invoking up anything new. So they didn't find their opening on Baby Knight. I was actually wondering if this would be one of the games where you want to go at the earlier point up in Malediction. I know the more consistent build skill-wise has been to just keep leveling up Paralyzing Cask as well as having that Voodoo Restoration. I kind of miss the aggressive Witch Doctors who go for the 1-0-1 build. Having that early point up in Malediction and just ensuring... Like that was the first blood in so many games. If we look back like 4 weeks ago.
One way that I've still seen it, at least scaled up to 2, and sometimes even beyond that, is up against. Sometimes you'll see it versus like a Dazzle or something if you have a decent setup. You can throw out the Maledict, and no matter how far away they get, you're still gonna end up getting the kill, which can be pretty good. But lately, you're right. It's just not all that often that we get to see the Maledict. Nice little smoked wrap around here, though. They have no idea this is coming.
But Baby Knight, the ping, the Fiend's Grip. Golblack is actually capable of reaching the Paralyzing Cask. Also going to bounce down to the Vengeful Spirit. That's a heavy commitment of abilities, but a kill is a kill. There's a push with the Catapult as well, so this should be some damage into the Tier 1 tower. With the rotation of Ramses, I may even take this Tier 1 tower.
Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be going down here. Oh, and look at this. Jelpy even knows the Afterlife. He knows he's not there, but can they really capitalize on this at all? Like 4 heroes there, I think you just let this fall. Probably won't get much more, and they can at least keep an eye on Roshan as well, because they could head that way with the Invoker.
They also give space to Soul now to farm up on top so he can get his Arcanes. He's already got his level 6. But yeah, you accept the fate of your Tier 1 tower, you just help create space. Jalopy was hoping for a kill, and that's exactly what he's going to get. The Shadow Blade initiation with the Dark Pact takes considerable damage, but that's the beauty of having Shadow Dance. All he's got to do is just sit out of vision. And he'll be back up.
Yeah, that was nice. They were just baiting it a little bit there with Kef. He even tagged a couple more napalms they needed to, you know, summon up the board like he kind of wanted to fight it a little bit. And Afterlife walked right into it. And that Blink Dagger is so far away for him.
You dogging for the Beastmaster or for who?
Oh, for the Batrider. Just after falling once more on Afterlife. It's going to be a long while.
Well, he's closer than General was.
That's true. But he also, well, I don't know.
Oh,
he's got 2 less deaths.
That's a guaranteed kill. Used the cooldown as well. Didn't want to dive underneath the tower, and Death Ward was an easy way to get it.
Yeah, it's alright. Secured. It's fine. They're going to find this little Ancient stack here, but can they really do anything about it? They're trying to take care of the creep. They can't even get that, man. The HP did this thing get? Oh, they left it. Okay, well, I guess you can get it now.
It just stopped moving. Bottom lane, the Beastmaster is going to go down. Another good rotation, this time with the Witch Doctor combining up with the Batrider. He actually got in range for his lasso.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It must have just been from Napalm.
Golblack needs help. And then again, so does Biver. He thought he can get himself away from this, but he's taking up the tower. You'll get the Soul and Ulti down, and with the help of the Slark, they're going to get a revenge kill. This time it's into the Invoker. The Glimpse bringing Baby Knight back to the front lines, and... well, where's the follow-up? Not going to be there. Not from LC. The ulti from Baby Knight with the Paralyzing Cask. It did so much just then. Oh, damn. Always got to fly is everywhere he needs to be.
Yeah, he's playing so well this game. Like, he played really well in the Rubik as well in the game before. Just being exactly where he needs to be, like you said. Like, he was always in the mid lane, and now this game, he's bot, he's mid, he's top. I guess the one rotation he missed was the dive on the top lane, but now being able to pick up that Slark, it's so massive to slow down that momentum. Just stop him from getting onto the next big item after the Shadow Blade, whether it's going back into more static stuff or just moving on to some of those bigger items like picking up your ultimate orbs. You can't allow that to happen early on. And it's going to give so much more space for Afterlife, too, because the more farms that you're going to have up on Jelpy, that's just how much harder it's going to be for you to get this Blink Dagger on Afterlife.
Yeah. Even if he does get the Blink Dagger, if you get enough farm over on that Slark, it won't matter. Afterlife will be the one being initiated on, because he'll need more than a Blink Dagger. He'll need 4 staff, and he'll probably need BKB. At that point, he can do something about LC, but... by that point, you're probably going to have that 4-staff over on Baby Knight and potentially his own secondary maneuverability item.
Oh, Godblack roared up here. Necro's popping.
They can battle this. The Glimpse wasn't perfect. The Flame Break is not helping him either. And Jalopy gets himself caught in the cliffside. That's a comedy of errors. Meanwhile, down
Bottom
inside
lane.
the Radiant Jungle, it's a flag cannon damage from Ramses. With the help of Iceberg, they catch out both the VS and the Beastmaster.
Yeah, he came in with a roar on Godblack, popped the Necros, but he had to run everything up this cliff, and so all coming up single file, they had to like start attacking one by one on Godblack, and he couldn't get that pick-off damage that you generally look for. And then the rotation in, of course, from the call down just made it an easy counter initiation. And they will sentry up the Ancient stack here from the Radiant side. They're not concerned about this right now. The major concern for everyone currently is going to be Roshan. And that's going to be who's going to be grabbing it up between Oh, they're TPing in here. They actually can call this down. 2 more seconds.
Yeah, it's on cooldown.
But either way, it'll be between the Invoker and how much he can push into it, and then the Ore from the Beastmaster.
That was a hopeful glimpse by Solon. And they may lose Baby Knight because now they can't disable the Death Ward or the Fiend's Grip. That's
Oh, nice smoke.
Can they go for another? Can they actually reach it with the movement speed of the smoke? They should be able to wrap around and go for the slide because the Observer was down. So they see him perfectly with a Blink Lasso. Just hold him in position for the Sunstrike to hit perfectly. So it's still practically a 5-man gank at that point. And they're going for another one. Solon puts down the wall. But they Observer Ward up so they can see exactly where the Disruptor's running. The Flame Break going to push him down. The Glimpse will be dragging him back, but you got the Nightmare to reposition into the Flat Cannon. You're fine doing this because not only do you take out the Creep Wave as well as the Hero, this will allow the pressure to be applied to the Tier 2 tower on top.
This is just like that winning play that we saw from Team Spirit where they took one thing and they just ran with it. And right there, take a little fight in the mid lane, knock down that OD, and just keep pushing. Smoke in, grab the Slarkoff. And it's all been provided by this great vision that they have on top as well. Just able to roll forward and give themselves a little bit of momentum. Opening up this whole jungle area as well. This is looking very good for the side of Team Spirit right now. Oh, massive lead.
Haven't even been looking at that one, but you're right. Up to AK, Jalopy missing his target. That blink too quick from the Batrider. He did see it coming though with the Observer Ward on the hillside. But yeah, what a huge swing. That's those kind of swings where you sit there as a Beastmaster who's trying to rush Necrobook and you get really depressed because you just know there's no money going to be coming your way. And Team Spirit are now looking to take more. They're looking to take out Roshan. Invoker can normally do this kind of stuff solo, but it's going to be a little too easy.
Yeah, there's no counterplay here as well. Like Baby Knight just sitting down bottom. He's got his little squad here with him, and he actually is. Oh, he just got so lucky on like 4 procs in a row. So if there happens to be a fight, at least now he'll have the mana for it. Oh, the courier is in the danger zone right now.
Well, they pinged it out. They realize what's going on. Flame Brick. Oh, second too late. The TP successful. And the Tier 2 tower has taken significant damage.
Oh, courier! Oh, couldn't make it. Life's hard.
At the same time, the fact that Courier died meant that Baby Knight backed up. So you can look at it from 2 different sides. It's like, well done. You get a Courier kill, but you do keep your OD alive. The early warning system was there.
Oh, the Aegis now up. I like that they put it on Iceberg as well. I think it makes more sense than Ramses with the BKB. Like, honestly, how are they going to bring him down? If they bring him down, there's not going to be anything left for Iceberg.
Especially considering Iceberg went for BT, so he doesn't even have a big stat item to go with himself. Oh, Golblack. He's got the Nightmare himself to protect himself. The OD ulti! Golblack actually just trying to outrun it. Never went for that Nightmare. But it doesn't really matter. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off as Team Spirit. They've already got so much momentum. They kill off the slot, they kill off the VS. That fight split into 2 different parts. And now Disruptor, he's going to have to glimpse back the Batrider to buy himself some space. But his bigger problem is the fact that Iceberg, he'll blink in 1 second time. And there you go. Disruptor's having a hard enough time running away from this as it is. But the Invoker takes the kill. 3 for the price of 1. I'm still wondering if that 1 was required to die.
Yeah, he was in there a little bit deep, but it's alright. They clean it up in the end. Jeez, Baby Knight he's been very deep in a lot of these situations, and it is helping him to get some farm because he knows they're closing in. He knows his jungle's warded. Oh! Baby Knight's got the plays right now, though. He's living.
You always think, like, a guy, he leaves Dota to go over to StarCraft, then comes back again. Like, if it'd be Rusty, he's definitely struggled to find a top team to compete in, but London Conspiracy, he's showing off his skills. London Conspiracy seems to be a nice little place for him to develop again.
Yeah, he had a really good first series, and last game, yeah, obviously it was awful, but, I mean, you can only put so much of that on him when you're being dual and tri-laned in the mid lane as Alina. Yeah.
Like, for that to work, for the Lina lane to work, so I'm surprised he didn't go for, like, what was the build I saw the other day? I think it was, like, it was Dragon Slave 2 points, and, Fiery Soul 1 point at level 3. And with that, there was actually a kill and an OD. because you harassed him down. It was around that time before OD normally gets to his bottle.
Oh, right.
And you just find that sweet timing. If you get that, you got a chance in the lane. If you miss that timing, your chances are gone.
Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
Oh, can they get a swap? Oh,
They got the glimpse.
They got the glimpse anyway.
Nope. Denied.
Yeah, that's worth doing.
I'd actually almost wait for Ramses to finish his like the glimpse back and then trigger the BKB. See if you can get LC to initiate, because they were still in a really good position. The Invoker was adding pressure towards the top lane. He could have easily BT'd himself down. They really want to fight. Like, they got Legacy Mortal on this Invoker. They want to be able to fight if possible, but they've only got it for another minute and a half. But the rotation was quick enough. So Team Spirit now assembled themselves up on top. The Dire Observer Ward on the cliffside, it sees it all. Has observers and sentries there. That's why Beastmaster is now forcing the issue on bottom lane. He's trying to force some kind of movement back.
Well, it's impressive he's even getting this much value out of the pick right now, simply because of how much Kefka, like, he's been having a pretty rough time. He's only got the Necro 1 still on his person. He's got 2 in the Fountain. He's almost up to level 3, but right now it seems like Team Spirit, they probably won't get a big push out of this Aegis. It's going to be really close, but it only has, what, a minute left, and you've got to be waiting on this Agnum Scepter for Iceberg just to try and take that game-winning fight.
Okay, I'm waiting for Disruptor to get Sunstrike to death. This Forge Spirit, he's... Nope. Forge Spirit will finally die.
I think Jalopy, just in his own jungle, terrified. Shadowblade, oh, he might. No, can't find Godblack.
Well, they can't find anything soon. I just want to fly with an Aghanim Scepter. Yeah. You're going to have that bouncing Death Ward from the Witch Doctor.
We've seen some unbelievably early Death Wards today. Or rather, Agnum Scepters for your Death Ward today on the Witch Doctor.
They've all
been coming out like 20. Oh, Iceberg with a blink.
Kefka ran the direction Iceberg wasn't really predicting. If the Sunstrike as well as that Meteorite was able to connect, then maybe Iceberg has a chance, but now he's run into Baby Knight. He needs some space, and, well, technically OD did grant it by imprisoning him. Iceberg will kick back up. They don't see anyone TPing out, apart from the... Oh, they caught him. The OD CP gets cancelled. With a paralyzing cast, there's nothing here Baby Knight can do apart from die. And that's a 50-second window now. And that's potentially bottom tier 2.
Oh, that was such an awkward position for them, because Iceberg's just sitting there, and you're like, oh, why aren't they just killing him? But he's still the Aegis. And then the second they leave him alone, the Aegis expires. So then he gets regen back up and comes in with a tornado for the kill.
Middle lane lasso. They found the Vengeful Spirit. More space being created here by LC. So they can take out the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, prepare a nice wall of wards, look for the next Roshan, and then go high ground. That'll probably be the safest play they could go for.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I wish I could see a net worth graph of it just after like this game. Because from what he started with to only 24 minutes in having Blink, Force Staff, and lots of gold sitting on top, very impressive. He's actually going in for the Aether Lens now as well. Like this pickup. It's like training wheels for your Batrider. It makes it so much easier and adds you a little bit of damage as well.
Okay, that's what your way of looking at that.
I mean, it's just like the old school.
It's like a third wheel. It's not really necessary, but it helps you.
I mean, it's so good. That was the big nerf that at one point dropped Batrider from, you know, he was... I remember he was 97.6% of all games or something before they nerfed the range on Lasso. And that's the first time he actually went away, and then he bounced back for a bit, and then he went away, and now he's pretty much back.
I remember the phrase, I think it was Blitz or Cap that said it. And I was talking like the Batrider and like how we kind of just dropped off. And the big answer I got back was, no matter what happens mechanically, Batrider is just too good. Yeah. Because you could just sticky napalm and then flash farm. You get flying vision, like Lasso always pierces immunity, that's the great ability in the late game. The turn rate problems, like for the enemy, like all these mechanic things, you put them together and it's just too good to pass up. And
it's essentially the same as IO in competitive games. This is the environment that thrives.
Droppy gonna pounce himself out. Creep waves are a little bit too far back for the straight push. Wondering if Iceberg wants to spend some of this money before this fight begins too. He's got 3,000 gold sitting on this Invoker.
Yeah, here I was thinking they were just going to wait for the enemy Pacific and start going, but it looks like might as well just farm another item, get a Roshan. Team Spirit, they've shown this a couple times in numerous games, is that if they gain map control, they're never in any rush. Like, yeah, last game they just marched down mid, but they felt they had the power to do it that time, and right now they probably have it as well, but there's no real need to push. Like, there's no time bombs or anything over on LC here.
There's no spec that's getting bigger. There's like even the OD's not getting that much. You get a 16k net worth Invoker, a 14k net worth Gyrocopter, and then you hit the Slark as well as the OD around 9.6 and 8.9. There's such a huge difference between the cores at the moment. But LC, they got the BKB over on Baby Knight. They smoke up instantly, and they're looking for a kill if they can find one. There's no Blink Dagger over on Kefka. So they just have to rely on running in close.
Oh, they have a jam.
This is so dangerous to do it. Jump forward. Jalopy's already managed to find one. So while Gem was dropped, but then it gets gathered up by Ramses. He's looking for the kill over on the Slark, but he has to turn around and help out the rest of his team. LC have completely split up Team Spirit right now. Always want to fly, see if you're going to die in the tree line. It's a 3-for-1 trade-off. Ramses, he's got so much work to do, but his immunity has now disappeared. He's got a lot of damage into Kefka, but you've still got that damage there from the Vengeful Spirit and the control from him, allowing Baby Knight to get a triple kill. And that fight, man, I swear, like, we could just draw, like, 2 lines here, and we had, like, it was 1, 2, and 3 segments of that fight.
Yeah. And Jalopy getting the perfect start off. Like, Batrider, he was in the one position where he was going to die to a Slark because he walked up this hill, even though he had Gem, he wasn't in Firefly, of course, and Jalopy's just sitting here. Immediate pounce, gets the free pick off, and that's what just completely catapults that entire fight because you don't have any guaranteed hits whatsoever. And not even call down thrown from your gyrocopter, I don't think, unless you threw it right at the beginning.
No, he didn't. Held on to it the entire way, just tried to go to work with a flak cannon.
Well, as you said, with like the 3 split parts, it didn't really feel like there was that good call down that you could even look for there.
That's what seems so weird about it. Like, you get your first attack, which, like, right now there's no... Okay, maybe we should just keep our eyes on mid. Like, the first attack came in from the right, which was the Slark, attacking. Gets the first kill on the Batrider. And then Team Spirit gets split down the middle. But at that point, the Gyrocopter finds himself in no man's land. The Invoker gets isolated over on the left, surrounded by Necrobooks. And the OD is just free to do whatever the hell he wants. Like, he's moving between the 3 areas. That was just the perfect position for LC, which I didn't think it was going to be the case. Like, they were smoking up, they were running in, but the vision side of it all.
Oh, they got Iceberg!
Yeah, that's a great swap.
He's dead.
That's a level 2 swap on the Vengeful Spirit that Iceberg couldn't be ready for. He's down as well for the full minute.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And now with the glimpse, they can go for more. They can't always want to fly. It's LC's turn to go to work, but then the Death Ward always want to fly! He caught a double kill! You have to remember that's an Aghanims upgrade. But it's not going to stop Jalopy from keeping the attack going. 15 stolen essence. He's trying to go over on Ramses. The drag back with the lasso. Baby not taking too much damage from the tower. Imprisonment to save himself a little bit of time here. Jalopy, one more attack. He's able to get the double kill. Burns the Aegis Immortal. Baby Knight's going to die to that tower attack. It's the last one. The bottle charges. It just wasn't enough for him. So
The
Team
fact that
Spirit,
you
they hold.
lose... Yeah, the fact that you lose the Essence Shift when you die with the Aegis is actually so devastating for Slark.
Radiant's middle tower is under
It didn't matter too much in this fight, but he had so many stacked up, and it looked like what Team Spirit did last game with all the stolen int, but this time on the Slark, like, those fights just came so consecutively, moving from there right into the Evoker, into the mid. He actually felt like he could put some serious damage on top of the towers. Like, right now, he could be pushing into that tier 2 if he still had them all up and active. But won't be available for him thanks to the Aegis.
Jalopy is hunting Ramses. The BKB's on cooldown for another 10 seconds. He's going to reveal himself for the moment. Ramses has somehow managed to put himself in the perfect position between the 2 dire obs wards, watching the river area. And you want to give VS even more range now? God damn it. She's now got an ether lens.
Yeah, I think it's the best item on this hero. I like it better than like Blink or Force Staff in the majority of games because we all know the balancing factor around Nether Swap is the range. And so each level increasing it, and of course Aether Lens as well is Jelly just gonna grab Godblack here. Will it be? Not quite enough. All right, Glimmer Cape saving lives.
There was also 7-1 charges for Goldblack to turn to if he needed to. That'll buy him enough time to brain sap, and then Fiend Script, and Jalopy was not going to take that risk. And rightly so.
Oh man, we're just like back into this whole stalemate again. And Iceberg, he has of course gone for that BKB on top of his Aghanim Scepter here, so as long as he doesn't get swapped in, I still feel like you have to think that Team Spirit are well on top. They are in terms of net worth. You know that they have these massive items like the Aghanim Scepter on your Witch Doctor, which you still don't have here on the side of London Conspiracy. Yeah, you've got an Aether Lens on your Vengeful Spear, but there's no Aghanim Scepter in sight here for Disruptor. Having to go much more defensive with the Glimmer Cape, and it feels like if they can still grow up with an Aegis, they should be okay.
I'm still okay with the Disruptor not having a lot of farm. I can almost prefer the VS to have it over the Disruptor and have Disruptor in that, like, core 5 position. Like, you got Glimmer Cape, that's going to be enough. And really, all he's got to do is make space. Like, if Jalopy as well as Baby Knight have space, this game is basically won. Because those guys will shred apart Team Spirit. But it means you got to keep the Batrider from initiating. You got to keep the Invoker from just, like, comboing on the sidelines. Which they've done very, very well so far. And then someone to disable the Witch Doctor. Make sure there's no full duration Fiend's Grip or Death Ward. If they can stop that, then LC are in the commanding position of the fight.
Yeah, plus they don't really have anything to deal specifically with that Vengeful Spirit illusion. If you do end up putting enough farm on there for something like the Aghanim Scepter on her instead, all that extra added level of control is absolutely ridiculous. You don't have like an Enchantress or something to steal it, or a Lion to instantly mana drain it. You might be able to actually get a little bit of use out of it.
I'm thinking just how much LC is going to want to commit to the Witch Doctor Death Ward, like to stop it, once he gets that BKB. Because obviously then it's only Raw. It's Raw or Basher Abyssal. Batrider, BKB, off she goes from the Slark, Death Ward is out, and well, always want to fly, it's going to be a full duration with the bouncers going. They'll keep the chase up. With that Firefly vision, they saw Kefka. He'll die over in the tree lines, and Team Spirit, that looked way too easy. Like, way too easy.
Yeah, they're still so far ahead. Like, yeah, you took these massive fights, but what were they at? They were almost nearly 20k ahead. So you win these massive fights, and they're still sitting at 13k ahead of you in terms of overall net worth and all those items. Even the overall experience as well. It is still favoring Team Spirit. So I feel like you had all this momentum on London Conspiracy, and then suddenly you just got like shot back into the real world right there.
Just gotta remember, I'm not that good right now. They need more time, but double buybacks from LC. They need exit kills here. It's the only way that's going to work. With a swap, they drag Goldblack back. He's out of vision of the towers. In fact, they just lose the VS. And if they lose Baby Knight, after that buyback, the Sunstrike's coming in. Baby Knight's going to dodge it. Is BKB still on cooldown? Jalopy runs straight through them, but no! They turn for the Rocket Barrage. The Slark will now buy back, but you've lost your OD, which means you've lost your mid-racks. They may even lose more. The Disruptor's getting picked up by Iceberg. The Raw actually helping to get a revenge kill at least onto that Invoker. But the Death Ward damage is already just ripped apart both the VS as well as the Beastmaster. And they just call it, and rightly so. Team Spirit are just too far ahead. The Beastmaster's going to die in base. There is no mercy granted from Team Spirit as they will go 2-0. Their resulting game that keeps them in the running for #1 position in DotaPit.
It was pretty much just a well-executed draft, well-executed plays there from Team Spirit. And we talked about London Conspiracy. Like, they had some really good picks in terms of like the Slark and everything like that, but overall, Afterlife able to bounce back and get that blink and that force stab. It felt like it was going to be an impossible game for him, and maybe he didn't contribute all that much in the team fights as opposed to the overall split push that he still did achieve, and the pickoffs too. So I think that's really hard as a Batrider player to understand that you're going to end up being a lower level than always want to fly in as Witch Doctor. First off, having this, you said support Batrider, you weren't exactly wrong, but his bounce back did allow Team Spirit to kind of work together and bring this one back into their favor and easily go to the win.
Yeah, and that's also one of those parts about the Batrider. You get one great initiation And you can win the game with the Batrider. And that's what happened in mid lane. They got that grab, and all of a sudden, 3 heroes from LC run in to try and contest, and down they go. Team Spirit taking out the 2-0 victory. Let's just check. Do we actually have our updated grid just yet? We have, we have the 2 wins on London Conspiracy now. So, no, not completely yet. But it does mean now that we will be looking at Team Spirit bumping up to 4 points, and London Conspiracy will remain exactly where they are. But it's still a great run for London Conspiracy so far. That's going to make for a very, very tight finish to the group stage P. Remember, you can keep up with all the information at DotaPit.com and, of course, at joindota.com as well. Thanks for watching, everyone. Modpack, thanks for joining me as well tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure for you to keep me in line.
Yeah, it was great. We had a fun couple of games here. It was exciting to see LC shut down that streak in Na'Vi, and then all Team Spirit answer right back and take down their little undefeated streak here over in DotaPit.
It's been fun streaks and great to see teams proving themselves. There's more teams to prove themselves as well tomorrow.